Live, you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular Board of Trustees virtual meeting via Zoom live stream on YouTube for Monday, August 3rd, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you take the roll?
Yes, Mayor, just so noting, my time shows 6:38 p.m.
I have the same.
Okay. Trustee Denton,
Present.
Trustee Steve,
Present.
Trustee House,
Present.
Trustee Brown. Not yet. Trustee Holmes indicated he was absent, would be absent this evening. Trustee Henyard.
Present.
Let the record reflect that so noted trustees are here. We have a quorum. Any department heads on?
We have several, Mayor.
Okay, I got a text from the Chief Mobley that he is still sick and he will not be on tonight. Who are the department heads that are on?
On the list of participants I see, and they can of course chime in. I see Chief Dyer, Superintendent Stacy, of course, Elizabeth Scott, our village administrator. Anyone else? Oh, and of course, our village engineer, I believe I heard.
Sonia London, I'm on.
Okay.
I'm on too, Chris.
Chris, yes.
Janice says she would be on. I'm not sure if she's on yet. Okay, we'll proceed. If we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States
of
of
the United States
America
of America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record also reflect that I hear Attorney Murphy on.
Yes.
And okay, if Trustee Denton, you can lead us in prayer.
Let us bow our heads. Thank you, dear Father, for another day. Thank you for letting us come together to do the will of the village of Dalton. Please let us do what is right for the village. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is general announcements. Any general announcements? Madam
Yes,
Clerk?
I have several, Mayor.
Hold on one moment. Madam Clerk, do you have any?
No, sir.
Okay, Trustee Henry.
Thank you. Good evening, residents. I pray and hope you guys are staying safe during this difficult time in our lives. I just want to announce that a resident has passed from COVID. I sent the email to the entire board regarding that situation, and to put situations even worse, the same day a tree fell on their car. A tree that they've been calling about for years to get cut down. The tree is diseased, but yet we still have not went to go cut it down. Mayor, I know you got that email, so I just want to ask, where are we with trying to get that tree cut down for them?
To be honest with you, Trustee, I haven't read your email. There's a number of emails I haven't gotten to yet. I'm not sure when you sent it, but did you send it to Public Works also?
Matt, Elizabeth, Janice, and the entire body. I'll CC it to you again now, but if we can get right on that, I appreciate it. The car is still in front of the house. It is smashed. I don't know what they intend to do with the vehicle, but the mom is also sick with COVID, so they're asking for some type of help. So if you would like to reach out to them, that would be great. And
Superintendent Stacy, did you get the email?
The last email I got was for a branch pickup. I didn't get anything recently from you, Trustee Henyard. If you could send it to me, they're going to be out tomorrow taking care of a couple others that are still out there. We'll get that taken care of as well.
okay, I'll send it right now to the both of you.
What was the address there?
You want me to say it over this, or you mean to just email it? Huh?
What? Just give me the street. Just the street.
Sanderson.
Okay. All right. Superintendent Stacy said he'll address it tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. The next thing was, we had a big issue the other day regarding a big party on Sibley and Woodlawn. I got several calls about it. I was just trying to understand, how did that party happen and just grow so big and no one went to go shut it down? So the residents asking, I'm asking now because I got the calls. I did call the police. They did go out and they also sent a fire engine out. So I'm just trying to understand, how did that happen? Because they was partying. It was no social distancing. It was like no mask. You might have 1 or 2 people here and there, but it was a party in the lot, and the lot was packed. Are you aware of this, Mayor?
I'm aware of it. When I got the call, I called the chief of police. I called the commander on duty. It was an unauthorized assembly. It was a car show. And I sent the police over. They dispersed the crowd and issued the sponsor of it a ticket.
Okay. Well, I don't know when you sent the police, because when I called,
I sent the police before you even called. So
they wasn't there, because I went when the residents all was calling me, because I got several calls and I couldn't believe it. Like,
Trustee Henry, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you.
I'm not going back and forth.
When I was notified, I sent the police. It was an unauthorized assembly. I told them to clear the lot and disperse the crowd, which they did, and they gave a ticket to the sponsor of the event.
And who was the sponsor? So it was Rinky's. Rinky's was the sponsor of the event?
Yes.
Okay. And what I'm hearing is they have several parties, and it's not the only one. This is the one that I know about, but residents have said they always got parties every week. So you can just look into that. Residents are scared.
They've had another event, which there was social distancing, which they did buy a permit for. This event was unauthorized. They didn't buy a permit for it, and the crowd was dispersed.
Okay. The next one is the Bouncy House event on Sibley over the weekend. We had so much going on. So I'm just trying to get his report because residents was calling. I was not aware of that neither. That one was at a daycare. It was like in that little lot there. Are you familiar with that event?
No, I'm not. No one contacted me.
Okay, well, they had several Bouncy houses along Sibley, well, in that lot there, at least four of them or so. I don't understand what's going on. If anybody's watching the news, residents, I'm advising you. I understand you want to get out, you want to party. Do not attend these events. Don't put yourself in jeopardy and take anything back home to your loved ones. I'm speaking from experience, you guys. Do not do it. Mayor, we could put something out to the business community so they know that they cannot have parties. And I know everybody watching the news. From my understanding, it was 50 or less people in one location. So if we can just kind of like hit on that more, that would be great.
We put all the businesses were notified, and we've been following the state guidelines in regards to disbursement of information to the businesses, and all the businesses have been notified. Now, if someone violated it and there's an issue, then the police need to be called and they'll take appropriate action.
Okay. Okay, well, for that issue, it wasn't. So I'm just bringing it up. It's everything so hostile with you. I'm just telling you my report of what's been going on the weekend and the calls I got so that we can fix it as a group, as a team. That's all I'm asking, because I don't want anyone to catch it. I don't want to catch it. So I'm advising people not to attend these things. If you're invited by business in Dalton, do not attend an event that has all these people and you take it back home to your loved one. Just speaking. The next thing is, and this will be the last one. I don't know if the board recall, Omari Yamini, he came before our board and he wanted to partner with the village and just help the youth, basically put them back to work. I know we have an issue with grass cutting. So what I did was took it upon myself to partner with him and basically purchase lawnmowers for the youth. Basically, you guys saying y'all want to keep them out of trouble. You see all the violence and crimes going on, they have nothing to do. So I spent my own money and basically bought that and weed whackers, gloves and bags and other stuff for them to cut the vacant property. They can cut the vacant properties. Residents, if it's somebody that need their lawn cut, they'll cut that as well. So if anybody in need of their lawn cut, please contact me at 708-297-6859. Again, number 297-6859. And then as far as the board is concerned, I would hope you guys would adopt this. I pay for the lawnmowers. It's free to the community. It's free to get the vacant properties cut down. He's part of an organization that pays the youth. So no dollars come out of our pockets as it relates to paying the youth. I just purchased the equipment for them. So Mayor, we can put something together to get that taken care of, because I know we didn't have any money in the budget to cut the lawns ourselves. That would be great. Anybody have any?
Trustee Hendrick, who's going to
Yes.
assume the responsibility if any one of those youth get
For
hurt?
insurance. They have insurance, Mayor.
Okay,
So what else negative you got to say?
Can I finish? Are they
Go
going
ahead.
to enter into an agreement with the village to give us a whole harmless agreement to make sure if any one of these youths get hurt, we won't be liable?
Mayor, that's fine. Anything's up for discussion, regardless of you guys do it or don't
I just
do it.
asked you a question. I just asked you a question.
Whatever, Mayor, whatever we need to do to make it work, they're willing to do. I'm
That's fine.
willing to do. So I'm just trying to ask the body, this board, are you guys willing to do the same, since we don't have resources to get the yards cut? I pay for lawnmowers. You want to buy a lawnmower or buy something else to employ more kids? Perfect. But I think that is great. It's for 4 hours a day. They do 20-hour work weeks, the kids do. It is a program. It's legit. I can give you all the information, which I know the young man brought it to the board previous, and you guys can check it out. But my residents for Dalton, anybody that needs cut, fine. If you guys don't want them to cut the vacants, they won't. So it's really up to you guys.
The board approved a sum of amount, I think it was 25,000, 30,000 to buy lawnmowers. Yourself and Trustee Holmes voted against that. They approved to purchase lawnmowers to get some of the cutting done, and also approved a small budget for the contractors to come in to start cutting lawns. So
okay,
that's where we're at.
So let me respond to that. And you're gonna tell it how it is. Get the facts right. You stated 2. So if that was the case, you had 4 votes, which you do not. So it couldn't just be me and Holmes that voted against not getting lawnmowers. And let's talk about why. Trustee, hold on, let me finish. Why I voted against getting lawnmowers. Number 1, we got a whole issue in the village of Dalton, such as we got layoffs and people taking furloughs. So how would I put money in that budget for that to get lawns cut? How, Mayor? You're gonna have a big issue. You got unions, you got all kinds of stuff. Hold on. Public Works, they're short-staffed. They can't even cut lawns. So how are we gonna pay contractors? Now you're talking about outsourcing. How are we gonna outsource something and we can't even take care of in-house? That doesn't make sense to me. But here it is again. Trustee Henry, put together a package to say, you guys, guess what? I didn't use my resources. I done reached out. Here's a program that's free to the village. Number 1. Number 2, we're getting youth off the street. So now all they have to do is basically get them something to do, free work, and help them build their resume. It's like a win-win. Again, why? But again, that's why I did it myself, because it's always a fight with the board. Well, with you, Mayor, on anything I bring up, when it's all about just talking and making it work. That's what I'm asking for.
Trustee, there was money enough in the budget, and you can ask Trustee House. He talked to all the board members in regards to getting this done. We could have had the lawnmowers out there purchased and the contractors there, and we had money to pay them to get the grass cut earlier. Now, if you put a program together, to have the youth start cutting it, fine. I got no problem with that, as long as it holds the village harmless in regards to doing it, and start it.
I did. I already started it.
Okay, fine.
I'm just making the board aware of what I've been doing. I'm trying to bring it to the village as a whole. I'm doing it just for the residents that want it cut, but I'm saying that we can use my resources to get the vacants cut, and it's free. That's what I'm stating. So who was your 4th vote? Because you keep trying to blame it on me and Holmes. We only 2 votes. So you didn't have 4 votes, and that means they would have passed. So what 4 votes did you have? So obviously you must have had only 3. I'm asking because you study telling the residents that, and that ain't how it go. It's 4 votes win anything.
Trustee House, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Did you solicit the board in regards to the purchase in the budget?
Yes, I did. On the purchase of the lawnmowers, It was a split vote, 3-3. Trustee
Thank you.
House, Brown, and Steve were yes. Trustee Henyard, Trustee Denton, and Trustee Holmes. Well, no, Trustee Denton, I don't believe I got a vote from. And Trustee Holmes and Trustee Henyard voted no. And then Mayor, you broke the tie. You were the fourth vote.
Okay, I thought you told me that Trustee Denton was fine with it.
No, the original proposal, which was $10,000, was $10,000 to purchase, and no vendors. Trustee Denton was okay with that. When it was amended to $25,000, she took it under consideration.
And she never got back with you.
Correct.
Trustee Denton,
Yes.
do you have an answer to that?
I took it into consideration and I failed to respond back verbally to Trustee Holmes. I'm sorry, to Trustee House. What do you need now?
Your decision.
Okay, so my decision in the additional monies, I'm voting for no.
Okay.
The original package, I was in agreement with that.
Okay. Well, just for the record, I vote that we purchased them. There was Trustee House had talked with Chris, I believe, in regards to going forward with doing it. So I would vote to do it. But Trustee Hendry, if you got a program in place, you want to get it started, or if you got it started already, that's fine. I would just suggest that we have an agreement with whoever's doing it, the gentleman that's doing it, to provide the service of the youth, to enter an agreement with the village to hold us harmless.
Okay, so Mayor, so let me make sure I understand. So you're stating you still want to purchase lawnmower. As I just said, I got the answer to that. It's fixed. We don't have to purchase anything, spend taxpayer dollars, because it's taken care of. You're telling me you still want to go purchase lawnmowers? Who gonna cut? Wait a minute, I'm trying to make sure I understand. Who gonna cut? If everybody got laid off or on fly?
Everybody
did hours come
get laid off.
in?
Everybody did not get laid off, and Public Works now is cutting grass, and they are in need of more grass cutting equipment right now as we speak.
Okay, so you're just buying lawnmowers, are you hiring the contractors too? I just want to be clear.
Trustee Hendry.
I'm asking, I'm trying to be clear.
To be clear with you, at the moment, if you've got a program in place, start your program.
I already did that. I don't need your opinion
Okay,
of that. I already did that. I'm asking you because this is what I have an opinion of. I vote.
I don't have any further comment, Trustee Hendry. If you want to start
how, man, you brought this up and went into a whole debate about it. So I'm asking you for clarity. Since you saying we're going to purchase lawnmowers, this is what we do. We control the purse. So, Mayor, if you're buying lawnmowers, are you hiring the contractors too?
You have any further?
Yes, I do, Mayor. I do.
Okay,
I do.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you hiring any contractors as well? Is my question, sir.
I had no further comment.
Mayor. Okay, so that's the problem. That's why I never vote with you.
Okay.
You can't just do what you want. Don't tell the board what we're gonna do.
We're moving forward, Trustee Hendry. Next thing on the agenda is the citizens' address. It's limited to the discussion of items. Giovanni, if there's any comments from the citizens.
Sure, I'll check right now. See.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm checking right now to see. It says, one question asked regarding pay. Who will pay for the work? I think it's a reference to what Trustee Henyard was speaking of.
Who will pay for the youth?
Yes,
Who pay for what? The youth, right? The kids?
For the work, yes.
It's a program that he has that he's partnered with someone in Chicago, and they pay for the youth. They pay them. So it's a work program basically.
Okay, that's the only question that we have so far.
Okay, just give it a couple more minutes and then we'll move forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Residents, make sure y'all ask him where his money going.
All right, next thing on the agenda is village clerk's report. Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on the agenda, approval of the minutes for the July 8th, 2020 special board meeting the July 14th, 2020 Committee of the Whole, and the July 2020 regular board meeting. I would ask for a motion and a second to approve the minutes either separately or together.
I'd like to get the motion to approve the minutes for July 8th, 2020 special board meeting, July 14th, 2020 Committee of the Whole, and July 20th, 2020 regular board meeting is bundled. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I second.
Is that trustee House, and who seconded?
Trustee
I
Denton?
did first.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Motion.
I seconded first and then Henry seconded.
Okay, I got trustee House and then trustee Denton.
Okay. It's been motioned and seconded. Any questions? No questions, roll call.
Trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House. Trustee House? I'll come back.
Aye, I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, trustee Brown, are you there? Okay, absent. Trustee Holmes is absent. Trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion carried 4 ayes. Next thing on the agenda is communications, Madam Clerk.
None this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Engineers report, Mr. Smith. Ryan Smith, are you there? Did you say he was on earlier?
I thought I heard him.
Okay, let's move on. Committee reports, Finance, Trustee House.
Good evening, everybody. I have a brief Finance Committee report. We did our Finance Committee meeting last Wednesday, which was July 29th. We had a lot of good dialogue. So just want to say thanks to all of those who participated, asked questions before or during the meeting. Our next Finance Committee meeting will be the last Wednesday of this month, again at 5:30 p.m. So I look forward to those who join. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Okay, thanks. Housing, Trustee Brown. She's not here. Police and Fire, Trustee Holmes, he's not here. Public Works, D.
Good evening, everyone. This is an update of what's going on in Public Works. Matt, we had a long talk about we just had a long conversation about the grass being cut. So Matt, Stacy, can you update board and the village as far as the progress of the grass being cut by Public Works and how that's coming, even though you do have people on furlough days?
Yeah, even though we have the employees on furlough days, we are out cutting. It ranges from 3 to 4 guys out cutting, and we're moving along as fast as we can.
Okay. And if somebody has a lawn that they want that's right next to them that they want to get cut, they can just have them call Public Works?
Yeah, they can call Public Works. We'll put you on the list and get it as soon as we can.
Okay. All right, next I want to move to Sonia London, the director of the water department is here on the meeting. And I know we had some questions and discussion the last meeting. So I wanted to get some input on her and just an update. From my understanding, the last District 1 bills went out late. Sonia London, can you explain to the village and to the town what happened and what's being done to rectify that? And can you explain also that people, if you got your bill late, you were not getting charged any penalty fees or anything like that? So could you go ahead, Ms. London, could you go ahead and inform us?
Sure, you about summed it up, but District 1 bills, I got a lot of calls, residents received them 2 weeks later. So I did email the printing company to advise them that the bills didn't reach the residents' homes until 2 weeks after the mail date. So they will not be penalized, and the bill date was pushed back to August 14th. So the original due date was June 30th, and they were pushed back to August 14th with no penalty.
Okay. And is there anything that can be done or put in place so this doesn't happen again? How can this be prevented?
So after I emailed the printing company to advise them of the error, they did respond saying that they ran out of the hard file, the master file, and they had to produce another hard file. So we shouldn't have this issue again. So this was only for District 2 bills that went, I mean, District 1, I'm sorry, excuse me, District 1 bills. So something about they had to reproduce a hard file, and then so that caused the bills to be delayed.
Okay.
So we shouldn't have that issue.
Is there any other questions from any board members for the director of the water department?
So I have one question. I think the question has really been answered, but I think there was a lot of discussion in the finance committee meeting regarding the bills, and that it's occurred on a few different occasions. So I think I really just kind of want to put emphasis or stress us making sure that we follow the steps necessary to make sure that the company, because I believe it was a company issue the last time, and we switched companies, if I recall, to make sure this didn't happen, and it did happen. So not really so much of a question, but a statement in the sense of stressing the importance of making sure that these things get out timely, and maybe putting in an extra check ahead of time to remind the company to do what we pay them to do.
Yeah, we did. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So as we did send Janice and I sent the email to our contact person regarding the bills not being received, because obviously we got the calls first, and then that was the response, the master file. So we Janice did I had a conversation with Janice, and she said she would reach out to them and request that they make sure they give us a 2 to 3 day turnaround once receiving the approval.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question, please. There was discussion in finance committee meeting about nothing being put in place for the down payment. The payments, they make arrangements for down payments, but there was really no structure as to if they're following up with making their down payments. And I'm asking is, has that been addressed yet, or is that still in the works? The follow through for the down payment.
So for the water department, if there's a payment plan in place, it is notated on the account, and then they're set up for a scheduled pay. When we had the down payment program for the COVID-19, we actually have contracts that individuals sign. And so far going through, actually I went through the contracts today, and so far they're sticking to the payment plan. For the ones who agree for a down payment and then a long-term or a short-term payment plan, if they do not stick to the plan, they are shut off or they sent to the shut off list. But we just resumed water shut off last month.
Now, question. Now, is there a set amount that people have to set for a down payment, or does that vary per person?
It varies per household, per person. Okay. Income, the amount due, and their payment history are all taken into factors when setting up a payment plan.
Okay. Any
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So what made you guys start doing resuming shutoffs?
We took in consideration what some of the other towns were doing, some of what the other utility companies were doing, and we took in consideration the financial position of the village.
And Harvey not doing shutoffs.
Well, we got nothing really to do with Harvey, and we don't know Harvey's situation. But we still have to pay the city of Chicago.
I'm just asking, what made us do it? So you made a decision to resume shutoffs, correct?
I did.
Okay, and do you got the date? When did it start? Like, when did y'all start doing shutoffs?
Well, trustee, we sent the email, and I was blasted. All the trustees, I sent the email to all the trustees because from the village administrator and from the village, even on our Facebook page, we announced to everybody when they were going to start doing water shutoffs, and that's why the village administrator did the people can come in if you're 2 cycles behind to get help with the payment. So that was a known date. It was announced through the whole village, and I know I emailed every trustee on the board.
Okay, no one's knocking that or stating you did not send an email out. I just asked a simple question. Everybody be so tense here.
No.
I just asked, what's the date? What's the date? That's all I asked.
No. You asking a question that I thought you already knew the answer to.
If I did, I'm asking. See, there, here we go. I'm not even gonna go there.
All right,
I'm gonna go there, but I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause. So what I'm asking is, what's the date? That was a simple question. What's the date that y'all started to do the shutoffs? That's it. That's it. That's all I asked.
July 7th.
Okay, fine.
That's it. Thank you. That's all I needed.
All right, go ahead, Trustee Steve, continue.
So any other questions for the director of the water department?
No, I had a question for Matt though, for Public Works.
Go ahead.
Matt, my question is, the mayor wants to purchase these lawnmowers. So if the lawnmowers get purchased, what manpower do you have to do what it is you need to do?
Trustee Henry, we're not purchasing the lawnmower at this time. Okay?
Mayor,
that subject is over.
Can I get my question answered? What's the problem today with everybody?
We are not purchasing the lawnmower today. Trustee Steve, go ahead, continue with the melody, please.
He's a department head. Can he please answer?
We are not purchasing the lawnmower.
Okay, you're not purchasing it today. Okay. My question was directed to Matt. Thank you, Matt.
And you said the mayor wants to purchase lawnmowers, and that's not the case right now. It's over with.
Can I get my question answered, please?
Trustee Steve, go ahead, continue, please.
He just gave me the floor. What you mean continue? He just told me ask my question.
And you just said the mayor wants to purchase lawnmowers. That's not the case, trustee.
Okay, so what's the case, Mayor?
The case is that we're going to move on. That's the case. The case is we're going to move on.
Mayor, what's the case? If I got it wrong, tell me what it is so that I have it correct. So you did not just say you wanted to purchase lawnmowers. What did you say?
Trustee Steve, go ahead and continue.
Mayor, can you answer?
Trustee Steve, will you go ahead and continue? You got the Melody Fitness in the report.
All right. So next moving on without the Melanie Fitness report. Again, I would encourage all the trustees, if you have a concern about the water department, Miss London is always open for a conversation. I went in there today and asked her certain questions that I had, and any concerns that you may have, you can always just reach out to her and get your concerns addressed. Moving on to Melanie Fitness. Melanie Fitness, as we know, is not open right now. And again, I want to encourage people who are members who paid their membership up and got their membership, or they paid and we closed and you paid up for a certain amount of time. Please email me, or you can contact me. My email is esteve@bodalton.org, or you can call me at 708-793-0034, and we are working on getting people reimbursed. A few people email me, so we're working on getting people reimbursed for that. And we're also still entertaining different people to possibly purchase Melanie Fitness. But also the detox campaign is open.
Trustee Steve, could you repeat your phone number and slow down a little bit?
Oh, it's 708-793-0034. That's my phone number. If you were a member and you paid up your membership, and we closed and you paid it up over the time we closed. We closed COVID. We closed March 15th. So if you paid up for a year or something like that, we're getting all that together now, and we'll be making reimbursement payments. That's the end of my report.
Okay, corporate bills. Trustee House.
Are you there? I'm on. So we have two sets of corporate bills. We have the electronic payment register, and we have our regular warrants list. So I'm going to read them together. Well, we'll read them individually and see if we can motion separately or together. We have the corporate payments register number 169, which are all of the manual checks that go through, as well as our payroll. Looking at corporate payments of $492,330.21, with gross payroll for July 2nd, $356,068.24. Gross payroll July 17th, $297,380.16, and gross payroll July 31st of $320,402.91. Melanie Fitness Center register 169 has $997.98. with gross payroll for July 2nd, July 17th, and July 31st, all $855.11 a piece. Total corporate payments, $1,469,744.83. I'm going to move along to the electronic warrants register, which is payment register 168 with corporate payments, $23,159.88. Water fund register 168, $281,438.22. 2009 A bond register 168 is $151,800. 2009 B bond $166,377.50. 2009 C bond payment $144,250 even, and Homewood Disposables bond $21,000 even. So total corporate payments for the electronic register is $788,025.60. I make a motion collectively that we pay corporate registers 100, 168, and 169.
Is there a second?
Second.
I believe it was first motion was by trustee House and seconded by trustee Steve. Any questions on this? Any discussion?
Of course.
I have a question. Register 169 for corporate bills. I just had a question. Sibley Animal Hospital, dollar amount $3,361.96. How many canines do we have?
No, that if I'm not mistaken, Sibley Hospital bills us on our strays that we pick up. So we no longer can take them to Chicago Ridge. We take them to Sibley Hospital, and they're required, once they're taken in, they have to give them shots and make sure that they're free of rabies, and then the disposal if necessary.
Is this a common dollar amount?
No, that amount will vary depending on the number of strays that we pick up and we take to the animal hospital. It used to be Dalton Animal Hospital before they were closed.
Okay, got it.
Some months there may not be any billing if we don't pick up any strays, but some months mostly in the summer months when the strays get out and people let the dogs out and things like that, it's a little bit more active and a little bit more activity that we incur with billing with the animal hospital.
And then what do? We they get adopted, or?
Well,
they just
they first treat them, make sure they don't have rabies. Secondly, they check them for chips and see if they can locate the owners. Prior, and actually the police try to locate the owners prior to taking them there. And if they can't locate the owners, they're euthanized.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no further questions. I'd like to get approval. Roll call.
Said I have questions.
Okay, go ahead.
I do. Thank you. My first question is for the South Suburban mayors and managers. We spent about $12,000. Do you know why we're spending that type of money?
That's our annual fee that we've been paying ever since I've been mayor. And to get their input in regards to matters, legal matters and things like that, we have to pay our annual fee. And it's based upon population of the village.
Okay, so we still need this. The reason why I'm asking, because it says dues and dinners. So I didn't think we were still doing dinners, but
we need it on occasion. I will attend the annual dinner, or sometimes they have two dinners, and at that point they discuss the things that go on and the some of the decisions that was made by the South Suburban mayors and managers, and the mayors put their input in regards to the activity that goes on in the organization.
Okay, the next one is for Odison and Stirk. I see a bill for $14,000 for June. Is that like some cases, or what is that for?
I don't think that's for one month, but there are administrative law judges on our housing and on our traffic offenses.
It do just say June 2020 services. Cause it say for services for red light was $3,500 for June 2020, so 1 month. And then underneath it, it got $14,155.74 for June services. So I'm trying to understand, that's some expensive services. What are they doing for that type of money?
Trustee Henry, that's probably my work for the village over the whole month of June, because remember, I merged my practice with them.
With Oderson and Sturt?
Yeah, about 5 months ago.
Okay, because then you have another one up here for 9,000. So basically the total was 27,000. So that's you and them, that's what you're stating?
Yeah, for all of this combined services, but as of March 1, I merged my practice with them, so all the bills have been coming out with that firm name.
Okay. The next one is down here on, what's this, page 6. I don't even know what this is. APV multimedia. What is that? For $150 video production? What is that?
Do you know anything about that?
Yes, that's that. It was another videographer we used, because the videographer we usually used was out of the city at the time. So that was another person that covered an event for us that the normal videographer couldn't cover.
Okay. And for Kasperic, I guess, Chris, maybe you can answer this one. I see your fees is at $25,000 a month. I know, or I believe you guys cut something in the past. Is this lower or is it kind of the same?
No, this has a $4,000 discount on the bill. This covers all of the services for June.
Right. So it's 4,000 less than May. Is that what you're stating?
I'm confused by your question, trustee.
You said it's 4,000 less, right?
I can add, Trustee Henry, that they their fees would have been $29,000. They gave us a $4,000 discount, which is why we see 25,000.
Okay, so it's 4,000 less from May. Okay, appreciate it. Cook County Bureau. What is this? Cook County Bureau of Technology for $4,074. Know what that is? You want the page? Page 8.
Those are, and I don't have the invoice in front of me, but those are for the police vehicles. I believe it's the software they use to communicate within the police vehicles.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was it. You cleared everything up.
Trustee House.
Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you answer for Trustee Henyard? Because I'm looking at the warrant list for Kasperic Group for the month of May.
For the hours that we were billed for the Kasperic Group, the bill would have been $29,000. In discussion with John Kasperic, he's been giving us a reduced rate for the last 4 months. So this invoice, which would have been $29,000, was reduced by $4,000 to $25,000. I agree with the board in terms of the amount of fees, but we said in finance committee meetings and all board meetings that the solution would be that we hire somebody in-house to do the more routine tasks and have Kasperic to do oversight, which could reduce their fees. My estimation would be down to about $10,000 per month. We would add a salary of about $5,000 per month. So in total, we would be saving roughly $10,000 per month. I sent the email to the board to that effect about a week ago. And the big thing is until we make a decision or go and hire somebody, Kasperic's Group has been given discounts, and then I talk as much as possible with them on the discount. However, there's only so much they're going to cut before their services will be reduced.
Yes, no, the reason I had concern because I've got the old packet looking at the July 6th meeting where their charges were only $22,796. And this one's $25,000. So I'm like, where's the reduction? but you explained it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
They also do send over weekly, and I believe he sent it to the entire board. If not, I know we discussed this. We'll make sure we do. But every week they send over a summary of hours that have been worked and what they've performed, so that all board members know on a weekly basis. We can estimate that the fees are approximately $120 per hour. So if we see that there's a 60-hour week, times that by 120, we know what we were billed for that week. And we can always try to request a reduction in hours, but keeping in mind a reduction in hours means that some of the tasks that they may have normally done may be left undone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Trustee House, I do want to confirm that I do send that to the entire board,
Thank you,
that
sir.
weekly update.
And
Okay,
it last
no-
went out on July 27th.
There's no further questions. I'd like to get approval of the corporate bills. Madam Clerk.
Motion by trustee House, second by trustee Steve. There being no further discussion on the motion to approve registers 169 and 168. Trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown, are you there?
Trustee Brown just texted me and said she had an emergency. She'll be joining us shortly.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Holmes is absent and trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion
Okay,
carries.
motion carries. 4 ayes. Next thing on the agenda is old business. Item A, renewal of the general liability insurance. Can I get a motion to for the renewal of the general liability insurance?
I
make a motion.
to renew the general liability insurance.
Second.
Okay, I believe it was motion by trustee Steve and seconded by trustee Denton.
Yes.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes.
Okay,
Just for the record, Mary Kay, I just want to announce that thanks to myself, trustee Henry, and trustee House, we saved the village $400,000, you guys, for us pausing and not voting back then. Sometimes it takes time to just overlook some things to find where we're making our mistakes. So I am glad that I think her name is Valerie, went back to her source and basically got us the reduction. So I just want to announce that. Thank you.
okay, if you want to take credit for that, trustee Henry. Any further discussion?
I am taking credit for it. Thank you. Don't hate, Mayor. I appreciate it.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown, trustee Holmes is absent, trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion carried. 4 ayes. Next thing, adjustment of compensation of certain employees. Is there a motion on this?
What is it, Mayor?
Mayor, this was a follow-up from the closed session discussion at the last meeting. And I understand that an informal action by the trustees was taken and the matter may be resolved, but it's on the agenda in case there was formal action still required.
Okay, Attorney Murphy, you want to chime in on this?
Well, I'm not sure we want to do this in open session. Which employees are we talking about? I don't have my agenda in front of me, Mary Kay.
Yeah, well,
It's not on the agenda. It's the names of the employees are not on the agenda. It just says compensation of certain employees.
do we need a vote on this? I think it was already resolved.
That was my understanding in the past week.
Okay, all right.
Attorney Murphy, we need to vote on whatever we did in closed session because we cannot vote on something and not let the residents know what we voted on. So
Well-
in the past, we've always done it this way. I don't understand what's different today. So you can chime in, that would be great.
If we're talking to the employee about the employee of the water department, is that who we're talking about?
Yes.
We say certain employees, we're talking one employee, is that right?
I'm speaking for myself. That's what I'm
I'm
talking about. I
asking
don't-
Mary Kay for the agenda.
On the agenda, it's generic, but as far as from my understanding, action was taken regarding to one water department employee
Okay, so,
following the board's discussion.
so trustee House circulated the determination. So the determination was that the whatever that employee was advised by her supervisor at the time regarding vacation was inconsistent with the board policy and therefore not enforceable. As to July 4 holiday time, the
Attorney Murphy, if I can chime in a little bit.
Yep, go ahead.
Those remain. I have two trustees that I have not received a response from, Trustee Holmes and Trustee Steves. The original action related to a previous payroll in terms of hours being paid and furlough.
Has that been resolved, Trustee House?
The furlough and the hours paid have been resolved. The holiday pay and prior PTO, I'm awaiting response from two trustees.
Okay, then we need to skip this. Would you agree, Attorney Murphy?
Yeah, I mean, let's,
Okay.
it's not all wrapped up yet.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
even though you
No-
voted
no-
for something else and over email, that didn't matter. Because
Well,
I think where everybody getting confused, that is Trustee House talking about two separate emails.
Trustee
Is that
House,
not
why
right?
don't you
Yeah, it
expand?
was two separate issues. The one that was resolved was a previous payroll. I want to say it was July 2nd payroll. That one was resolved, and furlough time. Those issues were resolved. There's three other issues that are unresolved until I get a final tally of the board.
Okay, we talked about all those issues at the same closed meeting. I would suggest that we move on, put it back on the agenda for a vote once you get the other ones resolved. Okay, next thing on the agenda is new business. Approval of parking variance at 1221 Sibley Boulevard, Sibley Crossing Shopping Center. Madam Clerk, what is this about?
To my understanding, and I wish the engineer is here because this is more up his alley than mine. At Sibley Crossing, the mall at Woodlawn and Sibley Boulevard, the owner is proposing erecting a separate freestanding building in the parking lot there. And in the board packet is a rendering of the plans for that. The issue came up that since it will take some of the existing parking away, our current zoning ordinance provides for so many parking spaces per square foot, and this would reduce the number of parking spaces per square foot in the parking lot. So the owner is asking for a variance from the current zoning ordinance to be allowed to construct a building. And,
Yes.
and you'll note in his letter that his reasoning essentially is that there's plenty of parking, even with the existing building going in.
Yes. I recall this now, yes. And they wanted to construct a new building so they can get additional tenants to help with paying the property taxes.
And this would require an ordinance, which is not on the agenda this evening. But since we were not scheduled to meet in August, I thought, and the owner is anxious, I thought it would be appropriate to give the board a heads up on this so that they can discuss tonight if they wish or check, review further, subject to an ordinance being on the next board meeting agenda for the variance.
Okay, John, we need to put an ordinance together for this?
Yeah, anything involving a zoning variance requires ordinance, but if the consensus of the board is to move ahead, that'll allow the owner to plan and to budget.
Right. I'd like for us consensus on this. One of the issues was that they wanted to start construction well before winter comes. And so if we can get a consensus on and then get the ordinance down and get it approved, then at least we can get back to the owner to allow him to move forward on some stuff, on permits and different things like that. So do we need to actually take a vote on this or just?
If anybody has any objection to it or concerns, they should speak up now. Otherwise, we'll get the ordinance prepared. If there happens to be a special for something else, we can put this on with it. Otherwise, I guess it'd be the day after Labor Day in September, huh?
Yes, September 8th.
Okay, any of the board members have any objection to this? Okay, I guess not. So at least I may have the contact information for the owner, but Mary Kay, do you have it?
Yes, well, I have the letter from the developer.
Okay, you can reach out to them and tell them that we'll be in progress of putting the ordinance together, and it has been any objection from the board right now.
Will do.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is a waiver of potential conflict of interest for Kane and McKenna Associates. John, you want to talk about this?
Yes. Board members, please recall that we have Kane McKenna, who's already performed services for us, and we're trying to get them to complete their analysis for the 300 West Sibley TIF. I guess what we commonly refer to is that the Food for Less TIF is coming to an end by the number of years. The owner of the property is seeking to retain Kane McKenna to determine whether the property still would qualify for TIF treatment. And they've suggested that using the Kane McKenna firm, Kane McKenna asked that to put on the agenda if the board would waive any potential conflicts. I don't see a conflict here. Mayor, your mic is on.
I'm sorry.
So they've asked for the board to waive off on any potential conflict. I don't see any conflict at all. They're a firm. Their job is to provide an objective analysis and qualification. If they determine that the property qualifies, then the developer would come to us and we would start the process for TIF. So I do not see a conflict in this situation. It's up to the board. If the board would rather not have this firm consult to the property owner, then just let us know.
So this is the company that's doing the TIF for 300 West Sibley?
Yes, it's this company that's already done work on 300 West Sibley. Remember, we need them to freshen up their report for that 300 West Sibley, but they're waiting to get paid. Elizabeth and Chris, have they been paid in full on 300 West Sibley?
Yes, I've spoke with them, and as far as I talked to them last, we have no outstanding invoice with them.
What about the 5,000 they need to complete the future work?
They haven't sent us an invoice.
They want the money in advance, Chris.
When I last spoke with them, they never said anything about that or sending us an invoice for that.
Okay.
I emailed them saying that if there's anything else, send us an invoice, and they haven't even said anything along those lines. I asked them if there's anything else outstanding.
I'll straighten that out tomorrow because we need 300 West to move.
Okay.
But in the meantime, it's up to the board. I don't see any conflict, but if the board would rather not have this consultant working on the developer side when they're working for us on the 300 West, that's completely up to the board. There's more than one TIF consultant in the world.
Me personally, I don't want to slow down. I don't want to slow down any progress.
Okay, great. All right. If there's no further comment on this, then we can move on. Let's get a motion on this. Hello?
Motion waiver of a potential conflict of interest with Kane McKenna Associates?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, I heard the first motion. Is Steve, who's the second?
Trustee House.
Okay. Motion by Trustee Steve and seconded by Trustee House. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Denton,
Aye.
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
Trustee House,
Aye.
Trustee Brown? Not yet. Trustee Holmes? Oh, there you are. I thought I saw you.
Thank you.
Trustee Holmes, absent. Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Okay, 5 ayes on this motion. Next thing on the agenda is item C, approval of the sale of 14051 Lincoln Avenue Youth Center Building. Can I get a motion on this? Hello?
Motion to approve sale 14051 Lincoln Avenue.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's motion by trustee Steve and second by trustee House. Discussion.
Could I guess the village administrator, somebody update us on what's the price, what's the process of this?
Well, initially, we had an offer for $10 the old youth center that is in totally disrepair right now, and there was an offer of $10 to buy it. I told them that was not logical or feasible, but at any rate, I told them to start at 25,000, so they made a bid for 25,000. Ms. Scott,
Yes, Mayor.
are you there?
Yes,
Okay, and that is a solid bid of 25, correct?
yes, it is.
Okay, so
And I think when I spoke to Attorney Murphy, we just wanted direction from the board to move forward. This building's been vacant for several years. We put a lot of money into it. It was supposed to be the youth center, 14051 is at Lincoln, and it hasn't been maintained. We would really be making a solid decision by putting this back on the tax rolls. It is someone who lives next door, and they said that they would like to maintain and upkeep the property, and it will be back on the tax roll, like I said. And they do have to do extensive work on the unit, on the building, and they are aware.
our custodial engineer, Scott Gilmore, to go into the building and examine the building, and he said it's been completely vandalized. And I want to ask a question here, John Murphy. I know there was some discussion whether or not this was actually put on owned by the village of Dalton, and whether there was some taxes that were continued to accumulate on that building. Can you check that out for us, John? Make sure that it is
Sure,
in
once,
status.
yeah,
I can answer that, Mayor,
Go ahead.
because we did get a tax bill on the property.
Okay.
And I did check the recorder of deeds, and historically, I always was under the impression, and recorder varies it out, that the village of Dalton does own it, but for some reason or other, the application to nullify the taxes apparently was not made.
Now, I know that the previous board, there was some discussion about this, and I thought it was important to make sure those taxes were vacated and be identified as village owned. So apparently that was done. But John, we have to forward on that before, unless the new owner want to assume responsibility for the back taxes.
I would doubt that.
Yeah. But can you look into that for us, John?
sure, I'll need to bring title down if, Mary Kay, if you'll get me the title or the PIN and the tax bill so I can order.
Absolutely.
Okay. And John, can we move forward with the acceptance of the sale based upon the vacation, vacating the back taxes since it was village owned?
I think we can just be a little more generic, subject to an acceptable contract.
Okay. So we shouldn't take any money at this time, or can we take the money and then?
Well, we would only take the money at closing, and we've got to provide title to them. So we'd have to order a title commitment.
Okay. What I would suggest, Elizabeth, is that we ask the potential purchaser to put down some earnest money before we go through all the expense of going through with this. I would say probably $10,000 is earnest money. And we'll set a closing date in the future. But there's going to have to be some legal work done before we can get the taxes vacated.
Okay,
show,
I'll reach out to the resident
to make
tomorrow
sure
and let
that,
them know.
yeah, to make sure that he's totally committed to the purchase.
Okay,
Okay,
will do.
I got a question. Number one, we do not need to be taking any money. We don't manage money well. And if we was to take anything, I think that that's kind of steep if y'all saying the property's $25,000. Also, my next question is, what did y'all say he was going to do with the property?
He's going to
Anybody?
rehabilitate the property. And Trustee Henry, it's not unusual to take earnest money down to make sure that the potential purchaser wants to go forward with the purchase.
Oh, I know that. I'm not against that you don't take money down. I just know how we are as a village with managing funds. But I'm stating that that's steep, the $10,000 if the property's only $25,000 is all I'm stating. But I know he's gonna fix the property back up. He's gonna fix it up and do what with it? Like, is he gonna make it? I'm just saying, a game room. I'm just making up something. What is he gonna do? It's gonna be a house. Is he gonna live in it?
It's going to
rent
be
it?
residential, Trustee. It's going to be residential. There's not going to be any business or anything started out of that building.
Okay, so he gonna, okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did we have a motion on that? I thought we
Let's-
did.
Yeah, we did have a motion.
And that was Trustee Steve, Trustee House, am I correct?
Yes. Okay, no further. Roll call.
I'm sorry, Attorney Murphy's suggestion was the motion be subject to entry of a contract.
Yes.
All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Denton?
Will you state it again, please? What am I voted on?
I'll defer to Trustee, or excuse me, Attorney Murphy on that one.
The motion is to sell the property at that address for $25,000, subject to completing an acceptable sale contract.
Okay, thank you. Aye.
Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee House?
All right.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henyard?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 5 ayes. Attorney Murphy, can we, before we go through all of this right now, can we put a generic contract together to get the earnest money to make sure that this guy is totally committed to making the purchase?
Yeah, I'll put together a quick Board of Realtors contract.
Okay. All right, very. Next thing on the agenda is item D, approval of a settlement for Blanchard et al. Versus Chip Dalton. Can I get a motion on?
Mayor, the
Closed
attorney
session.
that represented the village, represents rather the village on this matter, is present at the meeting. That's Mr. Panachera, excuse me. I guess I'm hungry. And he is prepared to review the terms of the settlement agreement in closed session. And then the board can choose, if it so wishes, to vote this evening.
Okay, then we'll go to closed session on this. Okay, next thing is the mayor's report. The only thing that I'd like to say is that we're continuing to feed our residents every Saturday morning at the Melly Fitness Center. Starts at 9 o'clock. People line up early. We give out anywhere from 1,000 boxes to 1,500 boxes of food every Saturday while supplies last. Also, we give out 1,000 gallons of milk and 1,000 blocks of cheese every Saturday. So if you're in need of these food boxes are anywhere from 25 to 30 pounds. They consist of fruit and vegetables and meat. This past Saturday, we had our guest of Commonwealth Edison, who passed out over 500 bags of items that you use in your home, light bulbs, night lights, and hand sanitizer, and some other items that were in the bag. So if you're in need of any food assistance, make sure that you come out. It's drive up, it's walk up. If you know any of your neighbors are needing that food, pick it up and drop it off for them. But I got word today that we will continue to do this on an unlimited basis. Originally, it was to terminate at the end of the year, but now I get word today that it will continue to go on well into next year. So please remember, every Saturday, Melody Fitness Center, 14900 Greenwood Road, every Saturday, 9 o'clock. Okay, next thing on the agenda is citizens address. So Giovanni, if you will, chime in and let us know the questions that the citizens have. Citizens.
Sure. Okay, we have several questions here. One is, what period did the last District 1 bills cover? It was said that it was due on August 14th. They're referring to the water bills. And the question continues, so what districts are you cutting off, and when did the cutoff start?
All districts are being reviewed for shut off, anybody that's delinquent. And as far as the extension of the water bills to the 14th, that's just for District 1.
Okay. Another question is concerning the payroll, and the payroll being high, and asking, have people been laid off and or have all departments been furloughed?
Okay, Administrator Scott. She's not there. All departments have been furloughed.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Did you hear the question?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. It says, the payroll is high, and have all departments been laid off or furloughed?
Yes, so we cannot take furlough days. There's certain contracts that just don't allow for it. So the people who are able to take furlough days, which includes AFSCME and non-union, such as myself and others in Village Hall directly, we are all taking our furlough days at this point.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, when will the permit-free holiday be addressed?
I'm not sure at this time that we're going to actually do a permit-free holiday due to this financial situation.
Well, I'm still advocating for it, residents. At the next meeting, finance meeting, I will be asking the board for support. So we'll see where it goes.
I want to say that in speaking with the permit department, the last permit-free holidays cost the village between $40,000 and $50,000 revenue. Okay, Giovanni, anything else?
Sure. The next question is, does the village still have a zoning committee?
No.
All right. The next question is, I've been hearing about all the vacant properties in the village. Are any of the properties owned by the village? If so, do you guys have a listing of the ones on the market?
John?
Yes, I didn't understand that question.
Are any of the vacant properties owned by the village? And if so, do we have a list? The only ones that I'm aware of are the ones we're trying to get back. Is that correct?
Are the ones that are in dispute on BP Capital, which is in litigation?
Yeah.
We don't have a list of properties beyond that.
Yes.
Okay. And it says, another question is, will any of the trustees be able to see the property before it's sold to verify the vandalism?
Sure. They can see that. The property is unsecured right now unless our custodian boarded it back up, but It has been boarded up 2 to 3 different times, and vandals have broken into it. He alerted me when I asked him to go examine it that the securement on the back of the building had been busted into again.
Okay, the next question is for Chris. Are any of the TIF monies used to pay salaries?
No.
Okay, the next question is for Trustee Henyard. Why are liability premiums increased? It appears that we are getting less coverage.
Well, originally, when we looked over the coverage that was presented to us, we was getting charged an extra $400,000, which we didn't have prior to. And it's because the young lady was going per occurrence instead of per incident. So that way, when a person increases it, it increases their dollars as well. So she was making more money by charging us more money. So we got that taken out and we're per incident currently.
Okay, and that is the last question that we have.
Okay. I'd like to get a motion to go into executive session.
Attorney
Mayor,
Murphy, we need to talk about,
question.
I got a question as well, so you want me to start?
I'm sorry, I think Trustee Denton had a question about the next, going into closed session.
Yes, I'm trying to recuse myself from this. And how does that work?
That's completely up to you. If you decide you don't want to participate, you don't have to attend the closed session. And if a vote comes through, you can abstain.
Oh, but I can be in there, but I don't. Well, it's involving 2 of the trustees. So that's myself and another trustee. So I'm trying to see, are we supposed to recuse ourselves from this, or are we a part of this? How does this work?
Why don't you attend the closed session and then we can see how it develops to see if you have to abstain from voting. Recuse, and Trustee Denton, in this context, recuse yourself and abstain from voting really means the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, so Attorney Murphy, they can sit in and listen to what we're discussing?
Well, I've
It don't
told,
sound right. So say
It-
somebody knows somebody, they can go back out and tell what we discussed. That don't
Well-
make sense to me.
well, let me explain. I advised, first of all, I'm not the lawyer on this case, but I told Ms. Scott and Trustee Steve that they should not be in the closed session.
But you didn't advise me of that. You
I don't know.
advised them.
I don't know. Are you a defendant in the case, Deborah?
Yes, Attorney Murphy,
Well,
she is one of the
you
named
can be in
defendants.
it. You can be in the case because it involves the settlement. You're okay.
So she's okay, but the other 2 is not? Is that what you're
The other-
saying?
Deborah is a defendant in the case.
Mhm.
The attorney from the insurance company is in effect Deborah's lawyer. On the other hand, in this case, Ms. Scott is on the other side. She's a plaintiff, one of the plaintiffs suing the village, as was Trustee Steve. I understand Ms. Trustee Steve dropped out of the case, but the fact of the matter is he was a plaintiff at one time, so I don't think he should participate in the closed session. So in other words, so Deborah, I'd forgotten that you were a defendant in the case, but this is your lawyer who's going to address all the defendants, so no problem at all.
Okay.
Okay, and Attorney Murphy, my question is, I want to talk about the payday loan issue that we have in the village. The mayor's giving employees payday loans. So what I need to put that under to be able to discuss it in closed
Well,
session?
there's pending litigation and then there's a individual personnel matter.
And the mayor has not given any payday loans.
Oh, well, I got the proof, Mayor, so that's why I want to
Okay.
talk about it. So
That's fine. Okay. I don't give payday loans.
the whole board got the proof, but
Okay,
can we
fine.
want to talk about it or you want to talk about it right here? Like I'm saying.
Just whatever you say, John.
Anything dealing with individual employees should be an executive session first.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Okay, I get like to get a motion to go into closed session.
Motion going closed session to talk about pending litigations
Litigation and personnel.
and personnel, including the payroll.
Well, that's an
That would be-
individual
Okay.
personnel item.
That would be
Okay,
compensation
just
of
making
personnel.
sure. Making sure.
Compensation of personnel.
You asked
My-
Attorney Murphy. I just
Yeah.
made sure.
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was a motion by trustee Henyard,
Yes.
second by,
I'll second.
Here's motion by trustee Henry, second by trustee House. Roll call.
trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve. Trustee
Ed?
Steve,
Aye. Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Henyard.
Folks, before we go into closed session, let me make this suggestion. That if we can do the personnel item first, or what trustee Steve has a right to participate in the closed session on the personnel matter. He's not going to participate on the litigation matter. So what makes the most sense?
Let's do the personnel first, and then I can.
You can log out.
Yes.
Is that okay with everybody?
That would be the same.
And
with
I'll
Ms.
do the same.
Pardon me? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's have Liz and Ed join the closed session at the beginning. We'll talk about the HR issue first.
One more question, Attorney Murphy. So even though I recused myself from the lawsuit and everything, I still can't be in at all?
You were a plaintiff, so I think it looks better that you stay out of it.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. Let's go into closed session.